Who knows how many?
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Is your restaurant looking a little tired from the long off season? Is your office a little offish? Start the new year off right by giving them a fresh start. Fresh Start Cleaning is now accepting new clients. Ask about their complimentary hood cleaning services. Fresh Start Cleaning. Get clean again with Fresh Start. Call 850-771-6917, 771-6917, and ask about their complimentary hood cleaning services. Calling all hospitality pros, ready to be your own boss? Then get the Crew app and get connected to flexible work in the industry you know and love. With Crew, you call the shots. Work where, when, and how you want, and get paid right after. Flexibility and fast cash, that's the Crew way. Crew lets you earn quick cash on your terms. All you need to bring is your awesome attitude. Take control of your economic destiny with Crew. That's CROUX.co. Crew, your new side hustle.
Electric scooters are fun, easy to use, and seemingly all over the streets. But several new studies find that e-scooters are also causing a growing number of serious injuries. One study by the CDC shows that 45% of those hurt have head injuries, while another 27% have broken arms, wrists, or hands. Half of those hurt say a pothole or a crack in the street caused their crash. Dr. Vidor Friedman is president of the American College of Emergency Physicians.
Emergency physicians are treating an increasing number of scooter-related injuries. Many of these are serious and can be life-changing, but many of these injuries are avoidable. The number one thing you can do to avoid serious injury is to wear a helmet. Scoot safe and avoid an emergency.
Studies show that about a third of those hurt are first-time scooter riders. Dr. Friedman advises to start slowly, follow the rules of the road, and be an alert rider. More safety tips are online at emergencycareforyou.org/scootsafe.
WPLQ Port St. Joe, WGSX Lynn, powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
It's the next evolution of sports talk radio. The biggest stories and the biggest reactions.
Now.
And now we're taking
with the first pick.
This is the last ball you gotta bet.
The Inside Drive. From college to the pros. Interviews with the newsmakers, sports betting, your phone calls, and more. And now, The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good Tuesday morning of this Masters Week. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida, 104.3 in Panama City Beach, 101.9 in Port St. Joe. You can always watch, listen, and watch it back on Facebook, X, and YouTube. Just search ESPN Northwest Florida. And then you can also download our free mobile app inside the Google Play Store. That is searching 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. You can download it, listen live wherever you are. We're going to jump right into it today because, Jake, we have a very, very special guest on the line with us today. Just fresh about 3 days ago after winning one of the most prestigious women's amateur golf tournaments in the world, and that is FSU women's golf sophomore Lottie Wood. Lottie, how are you doing today?
I'm good, thank you.
Thank you for coming on with us. I mean, it's just an unbelievable opportunity, not only for us, but, you know, just a few days after winning the Augusta National Women's Amateur. So I want to thank you and Coach Bond for allowing us the opportunity to talk to you this morning.
No problem.
Well, I'm going to jump right into it because we just got one segment here, and I'm gonna go, and Jay's going to have some questions for you too. But let's just go right back to Saturday. You know, you've got a two-stroke lead going in the final round, and whereas most tournaments you don't have a day in between, did that extra day in between where you had the practice round, did that give you more time to think about it, more time to prep, or I was just curious on how that moment went for you when it came to playing on Saturday in that final round?
Yeah, it's a weird one. Like, you don't get that at any other event. I honestly don't think it really made a difference. The practice round, I was pretty relaxed, and I played the course before, so I kind of knew what to expect. And was just kind of prepping for the next day. But it was definitely different because usually you're sleeping and then you're going straight out to play again. So it was weird.
Yeah, definitely a unique situation, that's for sure. Obviously, like I said, you had a 2-stroke lead going into that final round on Saturday. I'm going to flash forward. You played a great front nine, made some nice putts. On number 13, at that time, you obviously ended up making a bogey and knew at that point, because I think Bailey had posted the 7 under par at that point. What's going through your mind as you're walking off 13 and going to number 14 tee, knowing, look, you know what you have to do coming in?
Yeah, I wasn't very happy after my bogey on 13. It's definitely not a hole you want to be bogeying if you want to win. But and then I hit a bad tee shot on 14, so I had 215 in, which is kind of impossible to that green. But once I made a really good par save on that hole, I kind of knew I was still in it. If I'd gone 3 back at that point, it was going to be tough. But to be 2 back with the remaining holes I had, there was a lot of good pin locations that I could really get at. So I just knew I had to birdie 15, the par 5, and then just kind of got momentum going from there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's obviously, we're not too far away from Tallahassee over here in Panama City. Huge FSU contingency around here. I know we were talking about you all last week. We had Amy on the line. I think that was on Tuesday or Wednesday of last week. So a lot of people in this area, I think, were glued to their TV on Saturday, and I was certainly one of those. And once you made that birdie or par on 14, you could almost kind of feel like you could see it a little bit with you. You felt like a little sense of relief, a little calmer, and then you like you said, you kind of switched into, okay, I know what I need to do to win this tournament.
Yeah, well, when that part dropped, it definitely gave me a lot of confidence going into the remaining holes.
So you make birdie on 15. Now you're 1 stroke back. You got 3 holes to go. You hit a fantastic shot on 16, really ideally where you want to leave it with that hole location, a little bit below the pin. And I know you thought you hit a fantastic putt there and a great putt.
I don't know how that putt didn't go in.
Me neither, especially with that hole location. I mean, just on the high side. And, obviously that was tough, but you still had 2 more holes that you knew you could make birdies on. 2 of the harder golf holes coming in on a golf course. So what was your mindset on those last 2 holes? Was it just, look, offensive, I got to go make at least 1 to 2 birdies, and when you made the birdie on 17, what's going through your mind as you're walking to the tee box on 18?
Yeah, I was definitely going for it. I didn't really have anything to lose. Those 2 holes just require like 2 really good tee shots. They're both tight off the tee, and I hit 2 really good drives there. So into 17, I only had 104 yards in, so I could really go at that pin. Once I made that putt, I knew I was like level going down the last. And when I hit the fairway, suddenly with that pin location being on the front tier with the backstop, it was definitely like a green light pin, and I could go straight at it and give myself a chance.
Yeah, and you certainly did. And then obviously you rolled that putt in, and now you are etched in Augusta National history for the rest of your life, which is pretty special. I heard the announcers talking a little bit, and we have a lot. We're very golf-centric here on the Inside Drive, and we have a couple guests that come on with us on the regular that work on the mental side of things. When you're in a tournament like that, obviously you've played in all sorts of big-time tournaments all over the world, and obviously playing with FSU. What are some of the things that's going through your mind? How do you keep yourself calm? How do you not get too fast? What are some of the things you do to stay in that moment and not let the situation get too big?
Yeah, I definitely just try and stick to my processes, like my normal routine, not going too fast or too slow, just like not really changing anything. And I have a few breathing exercises that I do when I feel myself kind of getting a bit ahead of myself or thinking about the last shot, whether it was like a bad one, a bit too much, and just trying to get myself back in the present moment and just remember my processes and just stick to them.
Because it's about execution. I mean, your golf swing is there. In situations when you're playing in tournaments like this, it's more you maintaining your focus and, like you said, your process and what you need to do and not getting away from that. So you're staying comfortable and executing. And just watching you down the stretch was just unbelievable. To see you make 3 out of 3 birdies on the last 4 holes was just certainly special. I know all the people here in this neck of the woods were excited for you.
Yeah, I've definitely watched that last putt back like so many times.
That's something you'll be able to watch back for the rest of your life. And like we talked about with Coach Bond earlier this year, maybe this is just one of the other things that's going to make it even more special year for FSU women's golf.
Yeah, hopefully.
You got some momentum going into the ACC championship in the postseason.
Lottie, I was going to ask you a question. So with you winning the Augusta National Women's Amateur, what doors have unlocked for you since Saturday?
Yeah, so I get into 4 of the majors. My first one I actually leave on Sunday. I'm playing the Chevron, so that was a little bit of a tough decision because I have to miss ACCs for that, but everyone understood that I couldn't really turn down a major. And then I get the U.S. Open, which is like a week after Nationals, so that's kind of perfect. I can just stay back an extra week. And I get the Evian, and the big one I also get is the Open, which is going to be so cool playing at St. Andrews, the home of golf.
Man, that is fantastic. Yeah, this year just happens to be St. Andrews coming up. So
yeah.
That's some serious doors and opportunity unlocked for you on what I'm assuming will be a fantastic future golf career ahead of you. I did see you talked about, I watched a little bit of the interviews and was on social media a little bit, and your grandmother was in attendance at the Augusta National Women's Amateur. Obviously, just being able to see you play in this prestigious event is one thing, but then for her to see you have an opportunity and go on and win the tournament, how special was that to have her in attendance?
Yeah, it was really special. She is kind of my lucky charm now. The only other event she's watched me at was the British Girls, which I won right before I came over. So I kind of need to bring her to all my events now.
Yeah, definitely. She needs to be a staple in all these majors coming up next year. That's for sure. Getting back to preparing for an event like this and being ready for this huge stage that arguably in women's golf amateur side doesn't get any bigger. What are some of the things in your golf career leading up to this tournament that you think really helped you be ready for an event of this magnitude?
I think just starting to play college golf, and like when I came over here, just getting to play against all the best players in the world. We also play some great courses, ones that kind of similar-ish. Like we play a lot of courses with quick greens. Like even our home course, Seminole Legacy, is quick, slopey greens. It kind of reminds me of Champions Retreat, which we obviously play the first 2 rounds at. So, getting used to these surfaces has definitely helped.
Yeah, absolutely. And Champions, I worked in that market for a long time, had the chance to play Champions Retreat a few times. Jay, my co-host, has had the opportunity to play Augusta National, like some of us haven't. But what would you say was more challenging between the golf courses? Was it Champions Retreat or was it Augusta National?
I would say it was definitely Champions Retreat by a long way this year, because the second round, it was like 30-mile-an-hour winds, so the ball was moving everywhere on the greens. The greens were so quick, and it was playing pretty long with the wind. So I would say definitely Champions Retreat, because the scoring on day 2, there was only a couple of people under par, so it was very challenging.
Yeah, we had mentioned that last week, and you were one of them.
Yeah.
Lottie, I was going to ask you, being across the pond over there, where do you play a lot of match play over across the pond versus stroke play?
Yeah, I definitely obviously play more stroke play, but we do play a lot of match play. We do stuff like our European team championships, where I play for England, and that's the match play tournament. You got stuff like the British Am match play, British Girls match play. There's a lot of European tournaments which have a match play portion.
Okay.
Well, that's good practice for the NCAA National Championship as you get to that match play portion to make something happen. Also, I know I was talking to Amy, and she said, was it all of your golf team that was up there with you during this event? Obviously, you had 2 other players on your team that had qualified for the event, and Mirabelle had made the cut. But were the other members of the FSU golf team up there with you?
Alice and Kayla came. A couple of people had exams, so they couldn't come, but that was pretty much all our golf team, because there was 3 of us playing as well, so pretty much everyone.
And how important was that for you with the support of your teammates being there on Saturday at Augusta?
Yeah, it was really cool. I saw them right before I teed off. Like, I got to the tee 5 minutes early, and I saw them in the crowd right before I teed off, and that definitely settled me down a little bit.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's great.
Cool. I'm going to ask a non-Augusta National women's amateur related question. What was it about Florida State University and Amy Bond and their program that brought you to it?
Well, I actually never met Amy and the other coaches in person, and and didn't see FSU in person because I was recruited right in COVID, so I couldn't come over. So that was definitely a big decision for me. But obviously the facilities, the weather here are amazing. We play a great strength schedule, so that was definitely a factor. But I just was, you can get that at a lot of schools, so the deciding factor was definitely like what coaches I wanted to work with while I was over here.
Very cool.
That is cool. I was going to ask you, Lottie, kind of jumping back to the Augusta National Women's Amateur, talk to us a little bit about how the Southern hospitality at Augusta and the staff and how you're treated there. Because, I mean, it is like no other, in my opinion.
Yeah, we're treated amazing. We have lots of different dinners we go to during the week. Like we had a dinner right before the first round with Term Ridley, and they had like a set menu and stuff like that, and they give us like gifts and stuff like you literally go back to your hotel room and then there's something on the bed and you're like, oh, nice. Wow. And yeah, we're just treated amazing.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Special experience that only a few people get to do. I know it's only been a few days since you've won this event, but what are some of the coolest things that have happened since you won on Saturday?
I think either people that have like reached out or I've met in person. Like I was there on the day after on the Sunday before I left, and I met Tom Watson, Nancy Lopez. I met Danny Willett in the clubhouse, who's obviously another English winner at Augusta, and just people like saying they've watched me and kind of posting about it, who like people I look up to. It's really cool.
That is cool.
Has it settled in yet? Have you realized you are the 2024 Augusta National Women's Amateur Champion?
I feel like it slowly is. It's definitely been a whirlwind. Like I these last couple of days, like all I've been doing is kind of interviews. So just been talking about it, and I feel like once I get to the Chevron on Sunday, it's definitely going to sunk in because I'm going to then be trying to focus on another event.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I know you talk about your grandmother being a lucky charm. Kind of looking back into being a girl and kind of coming up through golf, is there some other people that come to mind that has helped you get to this point in your life, Lottie?
Well, my coach was there at Augusta. He's coached me since I was 7. He's the head pro at my home club that I'm a member at, and I've been a member at since I was 7. And my caddy was also my England women's coach, head of our England team. So he was a great person to have on the bag. And without both of them there and like their support throughout the years, I definitely wouldn't have been able to do what I did.
Yeah, that's absolutely. And obviously, too, there's a lot of, young girls that were there. They got the drive, chip, and putt the day after you win. I mean, now you're going to be the idol, and, people are going to be looking up to you in the game of women's golf. You mean so much to it. What is that responsibility like for you with, you coming up through the ranks of high-level junior golf and now playing at one of the best college programs and then going on to win the Augusta National Women's Amateur? That's a big responsibility and a pretty cool responsibility to have, and I'm sure you've already seen some of that since you've won.
Yeah, it's definitely a privilege to have that responsibility, and I'm just going to just keep doing what I'm doing, I guess, and just try and be a good role model to people. But it's weird to think that you're watching people kind of do the same thing, and now people are looking up to you.
Yeah, absolutely. A badge of honor, for sure. So what's the goal for the rest of the FSU women's season? I know you're done with the regular season. You got the ACC championship coming up. You guys have, last year you made it to the national championship in the match play. Is it national championship or bust?
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to be watching from afar at ACC. So hopefully we can do well there, and then the first step is to make sure you can get through regionals, because that can be one of the most stressful weeks of the year, and then nationals. It's moved venues. We've actually been doing great at Greyhawk, so I guess that's a little sad, but just trying to make match play. The first step is making match play, which is always difficult, and then just seeing if we can go and win it.
Well, that's one of the things that, it's absolutely grueling, and we've talked about it last year when we were covering the national championships, is the amount of rounds of golf you have to play consecutively to win the national championship. For most people, that would be absolutely exhausting. What are some of the things y'all do, at FSU in preparation for this long postseason run that is unlike any other college sport out there?
Well, I guess we're playing so many events throughout the year that we're kind of used to playing a lot, and I feel like the whole week you're kind of just riding the adrenaline. So it's more once you finish the tournament, you're just knocked out. So it's not really too much of a struggle during the week, but you obviously do have 6 players as well, so you can sub someone if needed to.
Gotcha. Hey, it makes sense. All right, I'm going to ask you one more question, and then again, we appreciate you jumping on with us here. What would you say to some of the, we've got a lot of junior golf in this area, what would you say to some of the young girls coming up if they're wanting to kind of continue to pursue golf, maybe in college or what are some of the advice you'd give to them?
I would definitely say, first off, just enjoy it. I feel like we all play this game because we love it. So enjoy practicing and definitely get a good coach. You definitely can't do it on your own. So have a good support team, and you definitely need to practice. So probably that.
I love it. Lottie, thank you so much. The 2024 Augusta National Women's Amateur Champion, forever etched in the history of the game and the golf. I appreciate you taking the time. We'll be pulling for you up at the Chevron this week coming up. So thank you for joining us here on the Inside Drive.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Bye.
Take care. That was Lottie Wote, the Augusta National Women's Amateur Champion.
Amazing.
Humble. Have fun. Enjoy the game.
That's
How many
right.
times have we said that?
A lot.
It's also easier to do when you're, one of the best in the world. Too.
Right,
So
that's true.
That certainly helps. But yeah, pretty cool stuff there from Lottie. And just, you can hear it in her voice. I don't think it's really sunk in yet.
I don't think it has either. You had taken that question that I was going to get. I was going to ask her if it had set in yet or not. I don't know if it. I don't think it has for her. I mean,
Well, and what happens is you've got like she said, you got this media blitz where you're talking to all of these people, and until you really have the time to kind of get away from it and settle down, I think that's really when it kicks into gear for you.
Yeah.
I wanted to get a poll question out there real quick before we're joined with Steve Alexander Dake here in the next segment, and I was going to just make it nice and simple: pimento cheese or egg salad.
That's fair enough.
Masters Week. Which one are you doing? Pimento cheese
or
egg salad? See, I'm the opposite. I'm going egg salad all the way. Mm-hmm. And yesterday's poll question, a resounding 80% to 20% Tiger Woods missing the cut versus making the cut.
Oh.
And if you go to the Vegas odds, it's the same now. It's minus 120 for both.
Right.
So either way, if he makes or misses, it's the same bet.
Tiger Woods abstaining from the cut line.
If he makes it. That Thursday is going to be a little wet, a little windy, and we'll see if they actually get through. When we get back, we'll be joined by Steve Alexander Dake. We're going to find out how he did in the 30 Deep Fantasy League, and I think we may talk a little bit of Masters with him as well. You're listening to The Inside Drive. We'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Dan Patrick.
I wasn't joking when I reached out to DraftKings and I said, hey, let's come up with a betting line. This Connecticut team versus the Detroit Pistons. I'm going to let you guys decide what you think that point spread would be. The Pistons would be listed as a 45-point favorite.
It's the Dan Patrick Show. Weekday mornings from 9 till 11. ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Tuesday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, mostly clouds and a high of 74 with a moderate breeze out of the southeast around 16 miles per hour. For tonight, mostly clouds and a low near 66. Tomorrow, mixture of mostly clouds and moderate rain and a high around 76. This weather forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
Hi, I'm Tracy, your diamond girl at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. Shopping for the perfect diamond can be difficult, but that's why I've trained my staff to be helpful and to offer you a stress-free diamond experience. Pick your sparkle and use our easy layaway plan. Every woman deserves an exquisite diamond from your diamond girl at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. We don't work on commissions.
We work for smiles and I-dos.
So if you're tired of high-pressure salespeople, stop by and see us today at Tracy's Fine Jewelry.
And now the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey.
We're going to have a talk.
Tell me what you know. Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios.
It's a frantic noise.
ESPN, Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Following up the Augusta National Women's Amateur Champion Lottie Woad with another legend in sports, and that's Steve Alexander, Doc A. Doc, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. First off, I got to find out. I already know, but our listeners don't. How did the 30 Deep Championship match in your fantasy league go?
It got a little dicey Sunday morning, but a gentleman named Victor Wembanyama showed up big time on Sunday night. De'Aaron Fox came through. Zach Collins came through. Peyton Pritchard came through. We rolled kind of easily in week 2 and got my second 30 Deep championship. So
absolutely, congratulations!
Pretty cool.
Very, very cool. No doubt, beating some of the other veterans in the fantasy writer world there in NBA world. So congratulations on that. We were certainly pulling for you. That is for sure. All right, I want to talk a lot about Masters with you, but first, how's everything shaping up? I know we only got a few games left, but anything not set in stone as far as NBA playoff action?
Absolutely, and it's directly tied to you guys.
Ooh, the Magic.
Have you seen what's going on with the Magic right now?
I have not.
No. The Magic have climbed within one game back of the Bucks for the number 2 seed in the East.
Wow.
The Magic and Bucks play each other 2 times this week.
Wow. So pretty much that little mini series is going to potentially determine that number 2 seed should the Knicks not make a charge here.
I mean, the Bucks have to play the Celtics tonight. Giannis may not play. So that could be a loss. That would make it a half game. If the Magic win, they're tied. And then 2 of the final 3 games are Magic versus Bucks. And, the Magic lost Franz Wagner on Sunday to a sprained ankle. I don't think he's going to play tonight. But it doesn't mean he can't play the rest of the week. And the Bucks are just limping into these playoffs. The Magic are kind of rolling. I could see the Magic locker room being like, you know what? Let's go get the Bucks. Let's go be the number 2 seed in the East. Now the Knicks are also right there. They're both just 1 game back of the Bucks. It's in theory, if the Bucks slide this whole week, they could get past and drop all the way to 4, maybe 5. But I doubt Milwaukee is going to go 0-4. But if the Magic can pull off those 2 wins against Milwaukee, then they can do it. And I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, the team that probably was before the start of the season, probably not projected to make the playoffs if I just had to guess. And, have had kind of a one of those seasons that you don't expect, but, playing hot going into the playoffs, may be able to make some noise. Over there on the Western Conference, a little more set in stone, it seems like, on that side. It seems like the playing game teams are pretty much locked in. I think all the teams besides them have been eliminated, so now it's just kind of jockeying for some position. But, if it ends up staying the way it is right now, and you got the Pelicans and the Warriors and the Kings and the Lakers in those playing games, who do you think comes out on those?
Man, I don't know. I don't know.
Who would you want?
They should be really good. I would say the Kings are probably a team that I don't think is going to get knocked out in the play-in round. The Pelicans, Lakers, and Warriors, man, I have no idea. The Lakers and Warriors play tonight, so we should have a preview of what that might look like. They don't really like each other. I guess I'm going to go with, well, it depends on the seeding. I don't know who's playing who yet in that play-in, but I like the Kings. I'm thinking either the Lakers or Warriors are coming out of there. So I think the Pelicans might be in trouble here, but I don't know. You can see the matchups.
Yeah. Well, we'll know here probably by the time we talk to you next week, because season's pretty much coming down. How many? They got 4 or 5 games left?
Everybody plays 3 or 4 games this week, and then everybody plays on Sunday in the finale. So there's 3 or 4 games left for each team. Now, also at the top of the West, it's still a mess. Like Minnesota and the Nuggets both have identical records of 54 and 24, and then the Thunder, who are just getting healthy and getting everybody back, are 1 game back at 53 and 25. So they play 4 games this week. So there's still a lot of a battle left to see who's going to be a number 1 seed in the West, which is a big deal because they get home court throughout the western part of the playoffs.
Yeah, which is a huge advantage, that's for sure. Well, appreciate you updating on that. Let's jump into some Masters Week talk. Obviously, you're a golfer yourself, and a lot of golfers view this as the best week in golf, no doubt, with the Masters tournament just being so special. Are you one of those guys that's going to watch as much coverage as you can, or are you just going to kind of catch it on Sunday in that final round? Because I know there's kind of two sides of the fence when it comes to that.
Well, my goal every year is just to lay in my bed or on my couch and just watch the Masters every second it's on, because now that I've been there and seen the grounds and just know what it is, and after taking Tiger Woods for granted for all those years in the heyday, the fact that we get to see Tiger play any golf at all, I'm just trying to soak that in, even if it's not pretty. I want to watch it happen. And, there's so much cool stuff that happens at Augusta. I just feel like I want to be there for all of it. Now, once the sun comes up and it's daylight outside and I have real life responsibilities that may prevent me from watching 24 hours of Masters coverage every day, the goal going in is to watch as much as I can, Wednesday through Sunday.
Absolutely. So just like one of us, a golf derelict.
Yes. Now, is the refrigerator next to the couch, Doc A, or do you have to walk to the refrigerator or to the kitchen?
Let me give you a little setup here. My master bedroom and my office take up the entire upstairs of my house. So the bedroom is next to the office. The refrigerator, the beer fridge, is in the office. And then I also just bought my wife one of those office type of water dispensers for our bedroom, because she drinks a lot of water. So I have access to cold water in my bedroom and cold beer in my office without having to go downstairs or really go anywhere, put clothes on. So I'd say I'm in pretty good shape. I got a big TV in the bedroom. The dog is up here with me at all times. So there's really no reason for me to leave my little perch for 4 days.
Now, do you have a bathroom attached to your office and bedroom? Or do you have to go downstairs?
I got to go through the bedroom to get to the bathroom.
Okay.
But it's upstairs, and there's nobody in there during the day. So I got everything I need, really, except a microwave oven up here. I do have a bed and a pillow in my office for emergency situations. And I've got all my stuff up here, so it's a pretty good setup.
It sounds like it.
Ryan, what do they call that where the amateurs stay at Augusta, up in the nest? The crow's nest.
The crow's nest,
yeah, he's got his own crow's nest.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. A little more space, it sounds like, for Doc A with his crow's nest than they do for the amateurs up there at the clubhouse. But yeah, no, and in this day and age, there's just so much dang coverage you can watch, and they do just a great job with never interrupting with commercials. Obviously, the sponsors pay millions of dollars to make sure that happens, but it's the one golf tournament, even compared to some of the other majors, where you can literally watch who you want, when you want, as much as you want. And I think that's just a testament to how cool that this tournament really is, and just an awesome event in the world of sports in general, but not only.
You know what's interesting about that to me is I remember sitting on the beach in Naples, Florida, like 7 years ago, watching the Masters in HD TV on my phone on the Masters app, sitting on the beach in Naples. I mean, this is incredible. Like, I'm sitting here watching the Masters on the beach on a little phone in my pocket. And like 10 years ago, the Masters wouldn't even let them show the front nine on TV at all. Like, you didn't even have any idea what the front nine looked like. It was always back nine. And we've come so far from everything being a secret about Augusta to everything kind of being on TV at Augusta. And like you said, I mean, you can go to the range and spend the day on the range, the morning on the range. You can follow your favorite groups. You can follow your favorite players. It's incredible how much access there is now compared to where there used to be.
Yeah, and hell, you can even get all the Masters deliciousness delivered right to your front door.
Yeah. Well, and then they come up with the Masters game back, 10 or 15 years ago, and somebody had come to me that day when they announced it, and I said, there's no way. Like, Augusta's not going to show Augusta National on a video game. I mean, like, I didn't believe it. Doc A's right there.
Yeah, they've opened it up. I mean, obviously, still one of the toughest tickets in sports to get. But if you've been, you certainly understand why that experience is.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
And there's a new souvenir at Augusta right now.
No.
Because I think you can pick up your Eclipse glasses.
Yes.
With the Masters logo on them probably all weekend long.
I would imagine so, because I think they said they had about 40,000 pairs that they were trying to hand out yesterday, and I'm sure you'll see those on eBay at some point as they are Masters specific. But yeah, the Gnome continues to be a hot commodity, and that's one thing. I was up there for a long time. I had the pleasure of attending a lot of different Masters events, but there was always one new item, and they had lots of new items every year. But that's one thing you don't hear as much people talking about is the merchandise tent. I wouldn't even call it a tent. Their merchandise facility is just absolutely insane. But there's always one or two things there that are very, very popular and always sell out very quickly. And I feel like the Gnomes are kind of the things as of recent, but they had like a beach bag a few years ago. And that's just one of the things, like, it's part of the tournament. You go to Augusta National, you're going to load up on some seriously sweet souvenirs.
Well, if you tell your buddies you're going to Augusta, you're going to be traveling with like $5,000 cash.
Yep.
Because everybody's going to give you money and tell them to go buy you stuff. Funny story, my buddy John Utterback that I play golf with all the time, he's like, get me a vest. And I go, okay. And he didn't say what color or anything. I bought this like really bad, like men's extra large, but it fits more like a women's large. Like, it's too small. It's blue. It's reversible. It's totally not what he wanted. And then I come walking in with this big green pullover with the yellow Masters logo on it. It's beautiful, and it's like made out of this really cool material. And he's like, bro, really? You couldn't just give me a vest version of this? Like, that's what I wanted. And I'm like, sorry, man. So he's lost like 40 pounds trying to fit into this thing, and it's still just a disaster.
That's funny. Well, he wasn't specific.
You get what you get and don't pitch a fit.
That's right, especially some Augusta National. But the cool thing, too, about Augusta National is you can have anything shipped anywhere you want, too. And that's why, there's such an international presence at Augusta and people from all over the world, and they'll ship it right back to where they need to go, which is they just do everything better than everybody else. And Doc, you've been to the Masters, you've enjoyed the grounds. What are some of your favorite moments in Masters history?
Well, the Tiger shot where the ball hung on the lip and then fell in, like that's the epitome of that's the greatest thing I've probably ever seen in golf. I watched that again last night. Fuzzy Zoeller winning as a rookie from Indiana when I was in Indiana, like that was amazing. Like, I didn't really know what was going on. I was a kid, but Scott Lynn's dad, Chris, was like, you guys are sitting here and you're watching history with me. Shut up. Let me smoke my Camel and drink my Pabst Blue Ribbon and watch Fuzzy win this thing.
Last person to do it.
And then Jack Nicklaus in '86, of course, was incredible. And then Tiger's win, has it been 5 years now?
2019, yep. That's how fast time's going.
Everybody hitting it in the drink on 12.
Just collapsing.
Tiger.
Yep.
Just watching people melt down. The Phil Mickelson jump, was big for me. Mark O'Meara, I think, won one year.
96, right?
Yeah, that was a big fantasy win for me. That won me my fantasy golf league and a bunch of money.
Nice.
And so yeah, there's so many great Masters moments that I can't even rank them, but it's just such a fun tournament. Rory's meltdowns, I will not have Rory on my team. That's what we're doing this year. We're this tournament I play in, it's the Masters tournament at Shasta at the club I play at, and it's 2-man teams, and then you also get to pick 2 pros to use their scores along with your scores to see who wins.
Yeah.
And last year we got cute and we tried to take sleepers, and we were trying to go contrarian. Didn't really work out very well. Victor Hovland, and I don't remember the other guy we had. But this year, my partner is one of those procrastinators. Like he won't make a pick until the deadline of Wednesday night at 5:00, and I'm like, dude, let's just get our picks in so we don't have to think about it. But I'm switching off of Hovland. I've heard stuff about his swing coach.
Yeah, he's gone through 3 coaches in the last 3 months. He hasn't really been playing very good this year. Yeah, a lot going on.
I'm off the Victor Hovland train. I'm on the Scotty Scheffler train. I mean, I feel like Scotty is as safe as it gets. The most boring pick there is.
Oh, yeah. That's the tough part about it.
I know.
Hopefully we have Scotty and like John Rahm or Scotty and Xander Schauffele. But our 2 guys hopefully are going to be studs that we don't really have to worry about too much, at least making the cut.
Yeah, so you pick it pre-cut?
No.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Because I was going to say that I've ran a few of these in my career, and it was always, you picked after the cut and played on the weekend, because obviously if they missed the cut, then you were screwed.
Yeah, these are pre-cuts, so your guy has to make it to the weekend. But I think the scores we get from our pros are Thursday and Friday, and then they add our Saturday scores to those.
I like that. That's cool.
I think.
That's cool.
I'm not really sure. I'm not in charge.
You just play the golf.
Doc, hey, how about these Monday headlines? Rory McIlroy finally gets his Masters win, and he announces he goes to Live. All in the same Monday.
I don't know which is more unrealistic. That'd be a good one, though.
It would be.
I just think and Doc, we've been talking about this at length the last couple of days. There's just some guys that have been the best golfers in the world at a period of time, and Augusta National is just their bugaboo that they cannot get over, and I firmly believe that is solely in Rory's head. I mean, he hasn't won a major in 10 years, and I just don't see him contending at Augusta simply because of the history.
And you look at his history at Augusta, and you see that, driving it into the cabins and the woods and it's just a nightmare. It's like his burial ground.
Yeah.
And I'm not messing with Rory McIlroy at the Masters. Somebody the other day was like, "Hey man, I don't understand betting odds very well, but what happens if I bet $800 on Rory McIlroy plus 1,000? It's like you lose $800."
Yep.
And
he ain't gonna win.
That's sort of where I'm at with Rory. I'm not messing with him.
Yeah. So who are? And we only got about a minute left, but who are some of the other guys? Obviously, Scheffler is the most boring, steady. He leads strokes gained approach, strokes gained over. He leads all the major categories when it comes to ball striking and gaining strokes on the field. So he is certainly a safe bet. But I think a little overvalued at 4-1. But who are some other guys maybe in that 18 to 25 to 1 range that you like this week at Augusta? There's so many trends at Augusta that are hard to overcome for a lot of golfers.
Yeah, I like Hideki Matsuyama just because we know he can do it. He's steady. He's solid. The odds are in a good place for him to pay off some decent money. I like Joaquin Niemann quite a bit.
Yep.
I'd love to see Jordan Spieth come back and do something fun. I'd love to see Justin Thomas make a return to greatness. But I just don't know if he has it in him. I'd like to see Bryson DeChambeau just go out there and bomb 400-yard drive after 400-yard drive and just dominate that course for one day. I think would be really fun to watch, but I don't trust him to be able to hit it straight enough to do it. I think the guys are Scheffler, Rahm, Schauffele, Matsuyama. Those are the 4, and then I like Joaquin Niemann. Feels like a sleeper to me. Maybe Tony Finau. maybe this is the year Tony Finau breaks out.
Yeah, he's had some good history at Augusta, that's for sure. And, there's just so many trends that go into picking winners. And if you really, trends are made to be broken, of course. But, if you're wanting to make educated and safer bets, you can really eliminate a lot of golfers if you go down the trends. But, Doc, we appreciate your time as we do every Tuesday. Congratulations on winning the 30 Deep. Enjoy watching the Masters and playing in your golf tournament. And we'll jump into some NBA playoffs next week with you.
All right, I'm going to the Hawks game tonight. Did you guys have fun at your Magic game?
Yeah, we didn't go, but I know all our the listeners that rode on the bus certainly did.
Okay, awesome, cool. All right, well, go Magic and go Panama City Beach.
There you go. We appreciate you, Doc. Have a great rest of your Masters week. All right, you guys are listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. No guest in the next segment, so we'll jump into some national championship and then start talking some more Masters week. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida presents The Blasted Bay Point. Play the Masters Fantasy Challenge to win a foursome at beautiful Bay Point Golf Club in Panama City Beach. It's free to play. Invite your friends to sign up. Go to ESPNPC.com and click The Blasted Bay Point. From your official radio station for fun and games on the Gulf Coast. ESPN Northwest Florida. Are you hungry for authentic Mexican cuisine? Then come to El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, where we serve up the freshest, most flavorful dishes on the beach. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, a great location, comfortable atmosphere, and happy hour from 3 to 7. Buy one, get one free, regular margaritas and 12-ounce house drafts. And you're going to love their lunch specials, Monday through Friday from 11 to 3. Plus, live music Wednesdays and Saturdays starting at 5:30. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, Thomas Drive, across from the Navy base.
The road is yours, so let your spring adventures begin and discover the new Kia at Bill Bird Kia. Stop by today and check out our 2024 SUV family and take a test drive. See all the new features that elevate any adventure. Now offering 4.75% APR for up to 48 months on the purchase of a new 2024 Kia Sorento EX. You'll get that rugged good look with luxury and the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. Bill Bird Kia, the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by anytime and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKiaPanamaCity.com. We'll give you the peace of mind that you can trust.
Offer from Kia Finance America for the purchase of a new 2024 Kia Sorento EX with $2,294 per month for 1,000 financed in 48 months. Quality is limited. No down payment required. Cannot be combined with other finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 4/30/24.
The only place to get sports betting coverage on the radio. Is this legal? Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios. It's the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. You can always tell when, you can hear it in people's voices that are, you don't even have to be an avid golf fan, but when you hear them talking about Augusta National and the Masters and the coverage, it brings out this emotion. It always does for me, and it's just, I don't know what it is. It's just so much better than every other golf thing that you can possibly watch or attend.
I couldn't agree more.
It's bizarre.
Yep.
It's bizarre, but it's that week, which is hard to believe. And weather up there on Thursday is not going to be too good, but it looks like Friday, Saturday, Sunday is going to be spectacular and a lot of good golf to be watched.
Well, I know spring started a couple weeks ago, but officially for me, spring is when Augusta's there. You got the azaleas, the green grass, the weather's good, the pollen.
Yeah, pollen is brutal.
It is brutal.
No doubt about it. You got the March of the Mowers, and that's one thing that there's little things at Augusta you don't realize. Like they mow the grass in the direction to face the tee box on every hole. That may not sound like something, but when you're talking about a leaf blade laying this way or laying this way, when when it lays into you, the ball isn't going to roll out as much.
Right.
They used to checkerboard the fairways way back in the day, and then I don't know when they switched, obviously when the reel mowers and the technology got a little better, but they mow every fairway so the leaf blade is laying down in your direction. That's why you see it dark facing the tee and light when you're looking back to the tee.
Yeah.
It's that ryegrass leaf blade laying, and that makes a big difference when you're talking about hitting shots. There's a lot of little things you don't realize. We're going to talk about some of the myths at Augusta National, whether they are true or not. But first off, were you guys surprised that UConn won the national championship last night?
No, I wasn't.
No.
I mean, UConn's been number one. They were number one seed all throughout, right?
Yeah. Well, Purdue was number one in their region as well, but UConn just dominating everybody and, pretty much did the same thing last night. David Hayes, were you surprised?
Not at all, man. Zach Edey still had himself a heck of a game.
Yeah, he put the team on his back, essentially. He scored 31-ish points, had a bajillion rebounds, but it still wasn't enough. That just goes to show you one big player can't do it all.
It was like almost the same thing, South Carolina and Iowa, right? Like, hey, Caitlin Clark, you can get yours, but by yourself, you're not going to be able to beat us. So same way with Zach Edey, that's what UConn did. I mean, those boys, it was a lot of fun watching because, they got a little high flying as well, but they just played really good basketball. That's one of the things with women's basketball and the popularity of it is just how fundamental the game is. And I, made the comment yesterday on the afternoon underdogs about, well, one of the reasons I like watching the men a little bit more is because they can do more of the things that just not athletically gifted. Not saying anything against the girls because absolutely they will wipe the floor with us if we were playing. So that's no disrespect intended there. But yeah, that game last night, how fast they were defensively, how good they are as a team, how they can just run the shot clock out till the last second and then boom, take the shot. Not only that, they make it. If they do miss it, they've got a high opportunity to get the rebound there. It was just, and you know what? Like trailing for 4 minutes in the entirety of the tournament, having a scoring differential of plus 140 is just absolutely ridiculous. And we'll look forward to seeing if they can three-peat or not.
Yeah, absolutely. Something that's has that been done before back in the day by UCLA?
I would imagine if
UCLA won a bunch in a row, but in the modern era of college basketball, certainly a huge accomplishment. But yeah, like you were saying, a plus 140 differential for the tournament is a tournament record. Their average margin of victory was 22.8 points, and you could just see it come in last night. Yes, the first half was a little bit close, but then one of the things that I saw in that second half yesterday, like David Hayes was talking about, is they're just so fast on defense. You have to move the ball so quickly. You have to be just looking out at all times. They never seem to let up, and that was just something that was so impressive. And I think that comes from Coach Hurley and what he bleeds into that team. You never take your foot off the gas. There was a game earlier in this year, it might have been in the tournament, I don't know what it was, and they were up by like 30 at halftime, but he was upset as his team for taking their foot off the gas. And when you have that kind of mentality coming from your coach, it certainly bleeds through. And this was they had a couple guys that carried over from last year's team, but there really was a whole new squad, and got the victory back to back, making the UConn Huskies now one of the teams to join the teams with 3 national titles or more. But it was pretty fun. What did you think, Jay? Good NCAA tournament? I mean, a lot of people predicted UConn from the jump, and we had a lot of parity all the way through, but there was one constant, and that was the UConn Huskies.
Yeah, just didn't watch a lot of basketball this March, and just didn't.
Which is weird.
Yeah.
March is for madness. But and UConn is now tied for 3rd most national championships in history with 6. The first one just came 25 years ago in 1999. So they are 6-0 in title game appearances. They have never lost a national championship game. And that's pretty impressive stuff. That's for sure.
Yeah, that blue blood. It does, you know what I mean? You could discuss it however you want to. They're a blue blood in the game of basketball, men and women's, because they're also the first university now that's had back-to-back on the men and women's side. So also very, very impressive in what Coach Hurley has been able to do, and just coming from that family of Bobby and what's the other one's name? I believe it's
I forget. I know he brought his son in there at the end of the game and he dribbled out the thing. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, he said he wished he would have. He at the post game, he said he thought he should have played more. His son said that he thought he should have played more, and
that's a son thing.
Then
to
he
say.
said he could hit the transfer portal. So
there you go. I love it. But yes, I was talking a second ago. UCLA was the last team to do a three-peat, and that was from 1967 when they won 7 in a row. I don't think anybody will ever touch that, and they won 9 out of 10 in that stretch. But yeah, I mean, how can you go against a Hurley coach team? That's for sure. And he's not going anywhere. That's for sure. I think we talked about that briefly yesterday. I think he's obviously, you could say, the best coach in college basketball right now. And why would you leave the program he just won back-to-back national championships on?
Do you think he went through like him playing for Coach K back in the day? You think he's using a lot of his philosophies?
Oh, I would 100% think so. I mean, that's kind of, the coaches you coach for and you go on to be a successful coach seem to kind of mold how you are. Obviously taking bits of your own and bits of other coaches, but that's how you're successful in the long run. I mean, you look at any sport and some of the most successful coaches have always taken things that they've learned from other coaches along the way, because, you're not going to reinvent the wheel. It's still the same game that it's always been. It's just maximizing those opportunities.
It was his brother that played at Duke. He played at Seton Hall.
Oh, okay. All right.
Dirty Jers.
Yeah.
Or many murders occurs. That's a Tupac song, I think. But we'll dive back into some master stuff. First thing I want to mention, don't forget we have our poll question, pimento cheese or egg salad. It's as simple as that. They have the barbecue as well, and that's one of those cool things. But the menu there at Augusta National, Jay, we've talked about it before, but for those who don't know, you walk through the gates and you have some opportunities both for breakfast and any time day, but you just take $20 in there, whatever you want to do, and you can get a lot of stuff. Egg salad sandwich, $1.50. Pimento cheese sandwich, $1.50. The pork barbecue, which is on a little bit bigger sandwich, it gets you, I think it's on a roll, if I'm not mistaken. It might just be on regular bread, but I think it's on a roll. That's $3. Your Master's Club is $3. Your chicken sandwich on honey wheat is $3. Your ham and cheese on rye is $3. And then, of course, the classic chicken sandwich, which is a chicken breast, is also $3. Jay, I'm giving you $10, and you got to order off those. What are you getting?
All pimento cheese.
All pimento cheese?
Yep.
Well, you're going to have...
Dude, I've taken them outside the gate before in my pocket, and they just don't taste as good. I literally have.
Once you leave the gate, even if you bought it right inside the gate and took it out, it still tastes different.
It tastes different. Yep. It does. Yep.
I bet you put a pimento cheese sandwich in your pocket.
I mean, they are so good. Well, you can't just have one of those things.
No.
I mean, you have to have like 7 of them.
And I'm like that with the egg salad. And I like pimento cheese, but I'm just not a big pimento cheese guy. But that egg salad sandwich, I mean, all of a sudden you've eaten 4 and you're like, oh my gosh, good thing we're outside.
Yeah.
On the breakfast side of things, you can get a nice cup of coffee for $2, a chicken biscuit for $2. You can get a breakfast sandwich for $3, the blueberry muffin for $1.50, or fresh mixed fruit for $2 and no cents.
Yeah.
What are you getting on the breakfast side of things?
Pimento cheese.
Okay, that's fair. You're not deviating from pimento cheese at all?
What you having for dinner, Jake?
Pimento cheese.
Daggum. So might as well just see if you can buy the tub.
That's it. All right. Do you get any dessert while you're there?
Ooh.
Pimento cheese.
Yeah, that's what I was assuming he was going to say. Well, you can get yourself the famous Georgia peach ice cream sandwich, which if you haven't had one of those, you're missing out. That's only $2.50. You can get yourself a Georgia pecan caramel, or pecan or pecan in Georgia. What are we saying?
I mean, my uncle was a huge pecan farmer in South Georgia. He called it pecan.
All right, we'll go with pecan then. You can get that popcorn for $1.50. If you've never had a cookie from Augusta National, you're certainly missing out as well. Those are just $1.50. Southern cheese straws for $1 or for $2. You can get peanuts for $1.50, and any of the chips, plain and barbecue, is $1.50 as well. Over on the beverage side, how much do you think a soft drink's going to cost you?
$1.50.
$2. They did go up 50 cents on that one. Bottled water is $2. Fresh brewed iced tea is $2. And then you can get a Crown Royal mixed drink for $5, a domestic beer for $5, an import beer for $5, and a white wine for $6.
Yes, sir.
Which they have gone up, because I remember the last time I went to Augusta National, I think a domestic was $3 and an import was $4, but still $5 for a beer at a sporting event.
Yeah.
You go get that at the U.S. Open, you're talking about $18, $20. And you get to keep the Masters Cup too.
That's right.
What color is the import beer Masters Cup?
Import. I thought it was like a clear color.
No, that's the domestic.
That's domestic.
And the soft drink and the other stuff.
Oh no, import.
Green.
Is it?
Green.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I did not know that.
I don't know if that's still the case. I'm assuming it is, but that's how it was the last time I went. Last time I attended the Masters was in 2015. So that was going on 9 years ago, that's how long we've been down here, and haven't made the trip back since we've been down to Florida.
It's hard to get to Augusta, Georgia from here.
Yeah.
It seems.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
about, by car ride, depending on which way you go, 6.5 all the way to 8 hours, depending on the route you choose and how many times you stop.
Right.
But the tricky thing is making sure you find a place to stay way ahead of time.
Yeah.
Because it's just like any other thing. Besides Augusta National not price gouging you, all the surrounding things, the hotels, the golf courses. I mean, we used to do, half of our operating revenue in 1 week.
Right.
For the entire year was just 1 week in Masters Week. So that was certainly pretty cool. Don't forget, too, to sign up. We got about a minute left. I didn't get to some other things, but depending on the afternoon delight, we'll still jump into those. But don't forget, you need to sign up for the Blast at Bay Point. You play the Masters Fantasy Challenge. You just go to our website, espnpc.com. Click on that banner. It'll take you right to the website. You sign up. The winner will get a round of golf for 4 at Bay Point Golf Club, including accommodations at the Hampton Inn right there on Thomas Drive. So if you are from outside the area and you want to come in and stay and play, you need to jump in and get in our Masters Challenge there. And I think there's about 20-ish people in there right now. You got till Wednesday night to get in there and get your lineup in. All you got to do is pick 4 players in the tiebreaker, and you'll give yourself an opportunity to go home with a round of 4 at Bay Point Golf Club and accommodations right there at the Hampton Inn on Thomas Drive, which is right outside the gates.
Yes, it is.
I mean, that's a win-win. All you got to do is just try to beat all the other players here in the Masters Fantasy Challenge.
I like it.
I'm looking forward to playing along and seeing how everybody does. When we get back, it'll be the afternoon. That means one thing, the Afternoon Delight debrief right here on the Inside Drive, live on ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. This is Braves country.
This is unbelievable.
Tonight, the Atlanta Braves welcome the New York Mets to Truist Park. Ronaldo Lopez gets the 6:20 start time. We'll have coverage starting at 6. The Atlanta Braves on ESPN Northwest Florida is sponsored by Brock's Pest Control, Store More Portable Buildings, Bill Bird Kia, PCB Hobby, Mid-South Lumber, and Gulf Coast Aquarium.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Tuesday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, mostly clouds and a high of 74 with a moderate breeze out of the southeast around 16 miles per hour. For tonight, mostly clouds and a low near 66. Tomorrow, mixture of mostly clouds and moderate rain and a high around 76. This weather forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
With over 65 years of combined experience, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to help you take your collection to the next level. They carry all the new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia, and supplies. New and vintage cards and Pokemon. They sell and trade cards and are always looking to buy. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards is open 7 days a week at 752 West 23rd Street, down from Academy Sports. It can always be reached at InstantReplaySportsCards.com.
Are you hungry for authentic Mexican cuisine? Then come to El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, where we serve up the freshest, most flavorful dishes on the beach. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, a great location, comfortable atmosphere, and happy hour from 3 to 7. Buy one, get one free, regular margaritas and 12-ounce house drafts. And you're going to love their lunch specials, Monday through Friday from 11 to 3. Plus, live music Wednesdays and Saturdays starting at 5:30. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, Thomas Drive, across from the Navy base.
WPLQ Port St. Joe, WGSX Lynn, powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida presents the Blast at Bay Point. Play the Masters Fantasy Challenge to win a foursome at beautiful Bay Point Golf Club in Panama City Beach. It's free to play. Invite your friends to sign up. Go to ESPNPC.com and click the Blast at Bay Point. From your official radio station for fun and games on the Gulf Coast, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Live from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine and Outdoor Studios.
Sky rockets in flight.
And now, the afternoon delight debrief with the three degenerates from the Inside Drive.
Some of the people who attended the record cold Chiefs playoff game in January had to undergo amputations.
Afternoon delight.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Sky rockets in flight. Afternoon delight.
And welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon. And we got a little rain in the forecast tomorrow. Hopefully it'll be out of here by Thursday morning, giving way to a beautiful Friday, Saturday, and Sunday here in Northwest Florida. Jay, we're having a good show.
We are having a good show.
Having fun so far?
Yes, always.
Your hat looks a little interesting there.
What's going on with it?
I don't know. That's the question I have for you.
Well, it's blue.
I can see that, yes.
I mean, with UConn.
You see what I'm talking about, right?
You passed your eye exam, Ryan.
Yeah, I did. I did. It's weird. It's just
it looks like one of those baseball dads back in the day that wouldn't wear the hat all the way down. You know what I mean?
There you go. There it is. There it is. It was a little poofy in the back, and I shouldn't really talk because I
that was his ponytail.
I kind of had the back up on the top, and kind of like the police officers used to wear back in the day.
Yeah, the state troopers wearing the absolutely. New Jersey still wears those.
Do they?
They wear them very down.
Can you pump your own gas in New Jersey?
Nope.
Oh, that's right.
Illegal.
That's so weird.
That is so weird.
Isn't it?
Well, it's weird when you come to a state that you pump your own gas when you grew up in a state that you didn't.
Can't you just standing there hello, the hospitality? I heard y'all had Southern hospitality.
Y'all supposed to be nice down here. What the hell happened?
Right.
No, I prefer pumping my own gas, that's for sure. Just because from a time standpoint, if you're in a rush and you got to wait for somebody to come, it's just kind of ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. I can't imagine. Yeah, so you have to wait on somebody to come pump your gas. They're not standing.
Well, you can go pick them up and just be like, all right, go do your
carry them over to the gas. Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, if it's a busy gas station, and they only have so many attendants working,
That is, man, I can't figure that one out.
It's pretty simple. You have to have an attendant pump your gas in New Jersey down here. And most, I think there's one other state, maybe two in the country that still have that. I forget which ones it is, but it is the afternoon.
Like California.
I'm guessing it's one of those one of those particular states. But yes, it is the afternoon here. It's our Afternoon Delight segment. But I always got to take the opportunity to give a shout out to our studio sponsor, Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine and Outdoor, right there at the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd Street. Tons of new vehicles in stock. I drive by it every day, and it is certainly looking good. I say I drive by. Beth drives by every day, and I'm typically in the passenger seat, so I always wave hi to Bill Kramer's G-Man. They're going up to the Masters on Saturday for the first time, so they're going to have a good time on that one. But trade values are still super high. If you're looking to jump in and get in a new vehicle or just trade in your vehicle that you currently have, you can always visit their service department, as they got some of the best mechanics in the area, and they always sell tires at cost. Over there on the Kramer Marine and Outdoor side, you can visit all their new and used boat inventory at KramerMarineandOutdoor.com. But they're a Yamaha outboard full-line dealer, Yamaha Master Certified Mechanic on staff, selling Seabourn, Spider, Sundance, and Skeeter boats right there at Kramer Marine and Outdoor. Go visit them for all your boating and vehicle needs. So check them out.
Yes, sir.
What you looking at?
Now, looking at my Afternoon Delight.
You got one?
Afternoon
You want to
Delight.
kick us off?
Yes, I do, actually.
All right, kick us off.
All right, so it's baseball season. There is something going around called a 999 challenge.
Oh, boy.
I know what this is.
9 beers.
Oh, yes, I've seen this.
9 dogs in 9 innings. You have to want it. You can't walk into a stadium thinking it's going to be a breeze.
No.
It will be tough, but those who want it, you got to get it. You have to be strong, and you have to fight mentally. But you can do it.
You have to fight mentally from not being too intoxicated and staying. So, do you get your name on the wall or anything like that, or is this just one of those undisclosed baseball ballpark challenges?
Yeah, it's just kind of an undisclosed. Yeah.
So
throw it on Twitter.
Is there a certain fluid ounces per beer that you have to be over for this challenge to be valid?
Now that I do not see in the rules of this challenge.
I'm always going to what the techtechnicalities are.
Right.
Because if it's 12, if it's 16, or if it's the big 24 or 32, you drink 9 of those.
You're doing 9 24s.
Ooh.
You need to be, I don't know if you're showing up to work tomorrow, but to each their own.
You're going to spend more time draining than you are going to be watching that baseball
Just
game.
don't break the seal.
Now let's break this down. How do you do this? Do you go 9
That
beers?
was going to be my... No, it's one per inning. Each is per inning, right?
But you have to, at the 7th inning, you have to buy your 7th, 8th, and 9th.
Yeah, because they stopped selling it afterwards.
Yeah.
Warm beer.
I just feel like
I was about to say not in England.
We debunked that earlier, but
yeah.
So how are you doing it? Are you biting the hot dog, drinking the beer, biting the hot dog, drinking the beer, are you eating the hot dog first and then drinking the beer, or are you just chugging the beer and then eating the hot dog like Kobayashi?
Yeah, I'm going beer dog. No, hold on. I'm going 2 beers, 2 dogs, 2 beers, 2 dogs, and then leaving my last one.
But isn't it 1 per inning?
I just think you got to get them all in 9 innings.
So just do it all in the first 3 innings and then take a snooze.
There you go. Yeah. I mean, that's the rule I'm coming up with. Is just you just got you can do it anytime during the ball game.
That sounds.
I would imagine that's got to be the 1 per inning, but you do it how you want to do it.
Gotcha.
So granted, it's one. Say it's 1 per inning. What are you doing first? The beer, or the hot dog, or are you doing in combination? Are you dipping the bun in the beer?
Oh, there you go.
See,
take hot dog eating contest to a new level.
Yeah, you got a whole section at the ballpark. They're all dipping the beer in the thing, taking down the glizzies.
You know they got ketchup and mustard for that. Oh, I don't need that.
No.
999, baby.
I'm going beer dog.
Beer dog?
I'm going beer dog.
Just drinking the whole beer first and then eating the hot dog?
Yep.
At what point do you start getting full? After 2
Third inning? Yeah.
10 years ago, maybe. Today,
I mean,
man.
just 9 hot dogs alone in 2.5 hours is a lot of hot dogs.
No kidding.
Let alone 9 beer. So,
yeah.
Reminds me of a golf course, that's for sure. Funny that you should say that, and this isn't really an afternoon delight debrief, and we've talked about it before, but the origin of golf and why it has 18 holes. I wasn't going to talk about this today, but since you brought that up, it seems like it makes perfect sense. Why couldn't golf courses have 10 or 13 or 21 holes? Answer, well, it seems that in the year of 1858, the Board of St. Andrews in Scotland sat all day settling this very question. There were then 7-hole courses, 13-hole courses, 15-hole courses. At the time, St. Andrews itself was made up of 22 holes, and Montrose had 25. Finally, after a day full of discussion, it said that one of the Scottish members of the board and a member in good standing spoke as follows. Well, good gentlemen, we have been considering this situation for many hours, and I have been hoping that you would decide along the lines agreeable to me without any instance on my part. I see, however, that I must speak for myself. It's so weird how they just the different way English was done back then. As you know, it has long been my custom to start out a game of golf with a full bottle of Martin's Scotch whiskey in my bag. Not, you understand, for any reason except that inclemency of our local climate makes it expedient for me to have a small medicinal nip on each tee. Remembering back in the day, alcohol was primarily used as, obviously,
cough syrup.
Yeah, well, in any type of, alcohol. It was for any type of sickness and that kind of stuff. So
headache, here, have a shot.
Yeah, that's literally, that's how it went. And obviously, certainly times have changed. But now, gentlemen, I have here a small glass which contains about 1.5 ounces when not filled so full that a drop may escape, which is your typical size of a regulation pour of a shot glass, or when you have a liquor drink if it's a single. Naturally, I find it pleasant to play golf, so as long as there is a drink left in the bottle. On the other hand, it would be unhealthy for me to continue the game when the bottle is exhausted. I have found that one bottle will fill this little glass just 18 times. So it has been my custom to play 18 holes each afternoon, no more, no less. I see no possible way in deviating from this custom unless the bottles are made larger, which I fear would be too marked in a change for our manufacturing life. So that's why golf courses have 18 holes. If you don't believe it, just take 1 ounce of 1.5 ounce jigger, fill it full, not too full, and you'll get 18 drinks out of a fifth of scotch.
How about that?
We've talked about it before, but it's officially official now.
Yep.
That is why you have 18 holes of golf.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. You knew that from the get, didn't you?
From the jump.
And golf is a 4-letter word.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah, that's how I learned how to walk, was just shot by shot by shot. There was 3,600 shots in a day for each step. Golly. 18, man, that would be smammered.
Scotch. 18 shots of scotch.
You'll be playing hopscotch out there.
That's more challenging than 999.
Way more.
I would agree.
Apparently their tolerance was pretty strong back in the mid 1800s when this game is so difficult and so challenging that it was founded upon numbing yourself so you can enjoy the game a little more.
Yeah, you want to become an alcoholic, play golf in Scotland.
That's what it sounds like.
It seems it goes hand in hand in a lot of places, that is for sure. And a lot of people think they play better golf when they have some of that old swing lube.
Yes, sir.
And that's a mental thing for sure. You need to talk to Phil Shomo.
I just listened to Phil Shomo podcast while I'm on the course, and that's how I've dropped 18 strokes.
There you go.
Makes sense.
Absolutely.
Long podcast. 4.5 hours long.
Yeah. Multiple episodes.
Yeah, it's good.
Right.
That's good. He was at the Masters yesterday.
Yes, he was.
Which is pretty cool. We just talked to him last week.
What is this Jim Waters that I kept seeing? The sign around Augusta National yesterday. Did it call his wife, Jim Waters? And so I've seen.
I have not.
You
seen
have
this.
not seen
No.
this? There's random signs all throughout Augusta, which I can't believe they even allowed this. But there's handwritten signs of Jim Waters. Please call your wife. And I have people on my Facebook that are posting this that were there yesterday. It's so random. But anyways, it sounds like he needs to maybe sign some divorce papers.
Masters patron gets concerning message to call his wife while on the Augusta Tea Time board. Ooh, not what you expect. This might be a serious thing. Not what you want to expect on the board at Augusta National. This is from yesterday's story from fansided.com. This is from Cody Williams. But Augusta National Golf Club famously does not allow cell phones. I've made a couple calls out of the payphone banks that they still have at Augusta National to be out on the grounds, whether it's for the Masters or otherwise. It adds to the mystique and ambiance of the Masters each year. Without question, and even in the technology-dependent society in which we live, patrons at the first major championship of the season have long said it adds to the experience as well. But we may have just discovered where the policy from Augusta National might get you in trouble if you fall a little too in love with the game of golf and the experience. On Monday, the week of the Masters getting underway with the official practice rounds and proceedings, one of the tee time boards posted on the course had a message for patron named Jim Waters, and apparently Jim could be in a bit of trouble at home as there was a message simply posted that he needed to call his wife. Masters patron left message on Augusta Tea Time board, call your wife. There's forgot to check in with your partner on a normal day of trouble. Then there's have Augusta National post on their Tea Time board to call your wife trouble. And the latter is not the situation anyone would ever want to be in. Let's hope that things go smoothly for Mr. Waters when he sees the message and gets back to his phone. Of course, this is perhaps one of the only pitfalls of not having a phone at Augusta National. In totality, the atmosphere creates a truly unparalleled. The atmosphere it creates is truly unparalleled. Whereas most golf tournaments, even the biggest moments, feature throngs of fans with their phones out trying to record the moment. Moments are made at the Masters for patrons attending in person as nothing but memories they will witness purely with their eyes, not through a scene.
Seems like Mr. Waters needs about 36 holes of golf, and we'll start calling him Jim Scotchers.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. But to be determined on how Jim will feel about the no phone policy on Monday, but as a whole, it might still be worth it for him after taking in the day at Augusta National. So yeah, thanks for bringing that. I had no idea. Yeah. That's a great afternoon delight debrief.
That is a good
We just walked right into that one.
Yeah.
That was good. And I can't believe they put it on one of the boards.
Handwritten.
Mrs. Waters must have been upset.
Yes.
But the question is, how did somebody find out about Mrs. Waters needing Jim to call her?
I'm so intrigued by this story.
They must have found it out outside the gates, and then when they went in, they put it up there.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I know.
Thanks, Jay.
Wow, hey.
I don't know how I missed that. That was good.
I can't believe you didn't see that one yesterday.
No, I didn't.
Huh.
I'm
Tomorrow or today's signs are going to read Jim Waters. I know who you're there with.
It'd be interesting if it kept building and building.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, as soon as you type in the word Jim Waters, it just, all sorts of articles come up there.
That's great. Yeah.
Old Jim. That's one of those things, you got to leave your phone in the car.
I know, and everybody's so used to having them. I mean, I'm sure it's kind of weird being inside Augusta and everybody's like probably shaking with their hands. Like, what am I supposed to do?
Like it said, it adds to the allure and the mystique of Augusta National. Not one person in there except your security personnel and all that have their devices with them.
Yeah.
So pretty cool. Pretty cool. But It is that time, and we're going to have to randomly generate some names, and got to keep David on his toes back there, as it is the Race to Talladega. It's 12:15. If you listened to the Coach James Hale show this morning, you would have texted in the keyword to 850-215-6290, and then coming up here in just a moment, we will announce your name. You got to beat a very good qualifying time in this third and final week of the ESPN Northwest Florida Race to Talladega. If you listen to the Inside Drive, it's always at 12:15 and then 5:15 on the afternoon. Underdogs, here we go. All right, today's name, get your phone out, 850-215-6290, is Chris Comines. If I pronounced that correctly, give us a call. Your qualifying time, if you can beat yesterday's, will make you the leader for today. And that is a pair of tickets up there to Talladega Super Speedway. Again, Chris Comines, give us a call, 850-215-6290. This is the last week, and we will not have an Inside Drive on Friday, as both of you fine gentlemen will be attending the tournament out there at Bay Point Golf Club. Are you doing an afternoon Underdogs on Friday?
I think so.
Well, just in case, make sure you pay attention all the way through Thursday to get your name in
I think I'm going to, because I've got Eric Anders lined up.
Oh, nice.
Who played football at Alabama, was on the 2009 National Championship team, and then transitioned into fighting for the UFC and his journey there. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah, he was at the Beatdown at the Beats fights.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Nice. That's awesome. Cool. Well, yeah. So it's the last week. If you want a pair of tickets up there to Talladega Super Speedway and the Geico 500, you got to listen to the Coach James Hale show every morning at 7:15 and 8:15 a.m. for that keyword of the day. You text us in. Make sure you put your name in there. That's the key, so we know who to announce when it comes time to announce the particular contest winner for that day. All right, Jay, I got one more, depending on how much time we got. This was actually sent to a former member of a club I used to manage, and this is from the AugustaPress.com. Right there, more, again, Masters Week action. At Masters Week Afternoon Delight Debrief. Doesn't get any better than that. Masters renter jailed for indecency on Bartram Trail Golf Club. Little fun fact about Bartram Trail Golf Club. Great golf course. One of the years, their spray tech accidentally put Roundup in their sprayer when they were supposed to put a fertilizer application out on the greens, and killed all their greens.
Oh, boy. Dang. Yeah, I bet you would have been happy about that.
Yeah, that is an expensive mistake, that is for sure. But this is from today. It's by Greg Rickenbaugh. Again, this is the AugustaPress.com. A drunk man renting an Evans home for Masters Week was jailed after neighbors recorded him urinating on a local golf course, authorities said. Very common thing that happens out there, typically, on golf courses. If you have too much, there's not enough bathroom. You see it happen very often. However, this is just a little different than that. Daniel William Wrangler, 50, of Elmhurst III, was charged with public indecency and public drunkenness. He told authorities he was just peeing on a golf ball as a joke. Not sure what kind of joke that is, but however, two Evans residents who live on Bartram Trail didn't find it funny. They were eating dinner when they spotted the man on the golf course with his shorts around his ankles. The suspect was standing on the second hole of the Bartram Trail golf course, according to Columbia County Sheriff's report. He stood and urinated with his lower body and genitalia fully exposed, facing towards their houses, the report said. The golf course is a public course that is surrounded by houses on all sides. They stated that this went on for some time, and when the person was done, he shook his wiener, pulled up his shorts, and walked to the backyard of a home at Satala Ridge. While the suspect was urinating on the golf course, another man from the same rental was seen filming him with his phone and laughing. Authorities said that the men were renting the house at Satala Ridge for Masters Week. Deputies went to the home where a large group of men were sitting around drinking. They found Wrangler in the kitchen. He was shown the video of him urinating on the golf course. Daniel confirmed it was him and later said he was urinating on a golf ball as a joke, the report said. Wrangler was then placed under arrest for indecent exposure and public drunkenness due to the strong odor of alcohol coming from his breath. He was booked into jail before being released on a $2,200 bond.
Old Danny had his Wranglers around his ankles.
Sure did. That's what's even better. That's what's even better.
Oh, my goodness. That is gold.
is I think in jail, don't you have to do that in front of other people in jail? Like, I mean,
typically.
I don't know if he's going to have a golf ball as a urinal, though.
Right, that's true. Yeah.
I mean, and when I first saw it, I didn't read the story because I don't ever like to read them before we jump on them because I would have known that the wiener shaking part was coming up. But it's something you see common on golf courses, but typically people are trying to, go hide. But this guy was just, and he wasn't playing golf, just returned probably back from the Masters or whatever it may be.
Oh, he wasn't even playing golf. That makes the story a little bit better.
The way I'm reading this story is it wasn't while he was playing golf. It was they're renting a house on that golf course, and they were returning back, and this was part of the overall evening experience.
What was it back in the day, the show Jackass, where they would hide in the trees
and hit him with the air horn?
Yeah, the air horn. This is a lot better. Just come out there and like, here's your golf.
People get so mad.
$3 beers at the course, man. I mean, it leads to this.
Yeah. I mean, how many people you see when you're watching the TV coverage with the stack,
right?
Yeah, it's almost like the baseball stuff.
Yep.
It's a weird badge of honor that that's completely backwards in society. But
Phoenix Open meets Augusta.
Yeah. Except they'll kick you the hell out real quick.
That's right.
I watched one guy step in a bunker one time, and they got swarmed. Because I had a member of the course I worked at was at the time the head of security at Augusta National, Jody Rowland. He's now the Edgefield County Sheriff's. He's the sheriff in Edgefield County. But they don't play.
That Social Security number becomes a no-fly list for Augusta. You're done.
You're done.
You're out.
You're blackballed forever.
Yep. They'll probably block your TV too.
Yeah, you can't watch it. No Masters for you.
That's what I usually use as the bunkers, though, as a urination station. Just draw my name in there and
there you go.
Off you go.
Yeah, absolutely. The white courts of Augusta National. We got to take a break. We were supposed to have Brad Law on, but he just sent me a text, and he's got a meeting that's running a little bit longer, but we'll get him on sometime here pretty soon. But you're listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. We'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida presents the Race to Talladega. Win a pair of tickets to the Geico 500. Join Coach Hale mornings at 7:15 and 8:15 for the keyword of the day. When you hear it, text the keyword and your racing name to 850-215-6290. Then listen at 12:15 and 5:15. If we announce your name, race to the phones and call us back at the same number. How long it takes you to call is your qualifying time. The top qualifying time each week will win a pair of tickets to the Geico 500, Sunday, April 21st at Talladega Superspeedway. And the fastest qualifying time also wins passes to the incredible Talladega Garage Experience. Plus, your prize package may include tickets for Saturday's racing doubleheader. It's the Race to Talladega. From PCB Hobby, Pepsi, Panama City, Toyota, and your racing station. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. The rest of the day, partly cloudy and a temperature of 74 with wind 15 to 20 miles per hour out of the southeast. Mostly clouds tonight, a gentle breeze and quite warm near 67. Mostly cloudy and raining moderately and 76 tomorrow. 73 and very heavy rain and some sun with a strong breeze Thursday. Friday, sunshine and a temperature about the same at 71. This is your Tuesday's weather brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Do you use the expensive blue or yellow pills to charge your sex life? Are you thinking about it? What if we can promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 a pill for the other pills, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pills deliver the exact same results for less than $3. You'll save more than $16 a pill for the same results. And right now, radio callers will get 44 blue or yellow pills for $120 with free discreet shipping. You can save more than $700 off pharmacy prices. Charge your sex life now and save a ton of money. Call now and get your 44 pills and save over $700 and qualify for free shipping. Stop overpaying and call right now.
Paid for by Steel Man Pills. 800-261-7365. 800-261-7365. 800-261-7365. That's 800-261-7365.
Do you suffer from political talk radio fatigue? And tune into the most fun and exciting new radio show on the Gulf Coast. It's The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. From the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. It's Tuesday of Masters Week, Jay Henley, and it looks like Tiger must have been at a press conference because a quote just came out as we were in that break, and he said, "If everything comes together, I think I can get one more." Phew. What do you think about that?
That's some positivity.
That's definitely positivity, but you're not going to be negative.
No, you're not.
But do you think it's actually possible?
No, I mean, think about all the surgeries he's had. He's 48 years old. I mean, I know the way I feel at 43. I fortunately haven't had any surgeries, but, it's the recovery time of his, if he goes all 4 days, I don't know what he has to do for recovery each night. I mean, I don't know if he's got to sit in an ice bath.
I'm sure there's
massages.
A lot, yeah.
I mean, there's got to be a whole plethora of stuff he's got to do.
Just the physical ability to walk that golf course is very challenging in itself, and especially with the leg injuries he's had and the back injuries and the surgeries. I mean, the guys like Jack and Arnie that were playing as long as they did, they weren't dealing with that same kind of, issues physically.
Right.
Obviously, the game has changed a lot because of Tiger Woods and the fitness and all that stuff in the game of golf. But yeah, it'd be interesting. I mean, I think everybody's obviously going to be pulling for him to make the cut. He's tied with Freddie Couples, and I forget the other person's name, for 23 straight cuts made at Augusta National. And if he makes the cut this year, that'll be the 24th in a row in an all-time Masters record, and just another record for Tiger Woods to have happen. So I'm hopeful he makes the cut. Do I think he will? I don't know. It's just, how is his body? He hasn't been playing a lot of competitive golf leading up to this, and I'm sure he's been playing and practicing and doing all that stuff, but there's a difference between playing and practicing and getting ready for a tournament versus competing in competitions where all these other guys are trying to vie for their green jacket too.
Well, what would be a cool thing for me, Ryan, is like, he's been at this course since 97. He could be his own caddy. And I think I said
You're not allowed to carry your bag.
Well, I know, but bring Charlie in. Like, have him caddy this week. I mean, he doesn't rely on his caddies much anyways.
Well, he just switched to a new caddy.
Oh, he did? For this week?
Yeah. No.
Oh, for good?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
LaCava's gone, and I think who's LaCava caddying for now? And JT just broke up with Bones, and there's a lot of switcheroos going on right now on the tour. But yeah, I know. Continue. Yeah, this could be, I don't want to say it's going to be his last Masters because it probably isn't, but what if it is his last Masters?
Right.
Have Charlie on the bag.
I think
who was on the bag for Jack in '86?
Was it Jackie?
His son, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, Charlie might struggle a little bit. I mean, he's only 15 years old,
right?
Hoofing that giant bag around with all the Gatorades and the whatever else Tiger puts in there.
Right? Yeah. I mean,
apples, bananas,
right?
All that good stuff.
That would, I don't know. I just thought about that. I was like, that'd be a great thing.
Oh, 100%. You'd love to see it.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome. That would be awesome. Cantlay, Patrick Cantlay.
LaCava.
Ah, thank you. Joe LaCava.
Oh,
Tiger's caddy for a long time. Yeah, he went to Cantlay.
We'll try to speed him up a little bit.
There you go. Hope Brooks isn't behind Patrick. That's for sure. I know the tee times are probably out. They usually release them on Tuesday for the rest of the tournament. But you got a lot of stuff going on up there. If you are heading up there or up there already, you're probably not listening to us, but that's fine. But it's the Champions Dinner coming up tonight, and then of course we talked briefly about it yesterday. That Rock for Dough concert over at the First Tee of Augusta has been going on since 2005, which is pretty special. And some of the artists that have played in this particular tournament: Colby Calais, Josh Kelly, Hootie and the Blowfish, John Kruger, Collective Soul, Edwin McCain, Sister Hazel, The Edison Project, the Pat Blanchard Band, Dashboard Confessional, Corey Smith, John Colbeck, and Cheap Trick have all played the Rock for Dough concert, which is a fundraiser event and just a fun event to go to that raises money for the First Tee of Augusta. And they have a great facility there right off of Wrightsboro Road that makes some stuff happen. I've had the pleasure of attending many of the Rock for Dough concerts that were always a good time. But that's coming up tonight up there in Augusta, and one of those cool ones.
Tiger's going off at 1:24 Eastern Time Thursday with Max Homa and Jason Day.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Be a good threesome there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think Max Homa's got a shot?
He's struggling. I mean, he's in one of those. I was looking. You got Cantlay struggling, Victor's struggling. You've got all these PGA Tour guys struggling. Homa's one of those guys as well. I mean, his strokes gained is down. It's just. We'll see, though. I mean, it's like what Phil said earlier this week, Ryan. I mean, just basically like it's just another tournament, and whoever can do that, and in their mind, that's the one that's going to end up winning, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Want to dive, talking about winning, and, if you're, I don't know if this is just me speculating. This is probably one of the more bet on golf events in the year.
Yeah.
Fair to say?
Yeah.
Just because it is Augusta National and there's so many fun props you can do. You can bet on different nationalities to win. You can bet on who makes the cut, all that stuff. But here are some interesting 2024 Masters betting trends that we can dive into a little bit. So if you're trying to formulate, obviously fantasy and DFS is a little different story, but these are specific betting trends to helping you pick winners. Obviously, I said earlier, trends are made to be broken, that kind of stuff. But here are some ones that we'll dive into a little bit here, Jay. We'll have Alan Sandage coming up on Thursday morning to really, obviously the tournament will be underway, but you can always live bet in golf, which is cool. Each of the last 10 winners were inside the top 30 in the official World Golf Rankings. Even though this is a year of the long shot winners on the PGA Tour, there are very few surprise winners at Augusta National in the Masters tournament. This has a lot to do with the course, limited field, and the fact that there's added pressure with this being a major. Each of the last 10 winners of the Masters were ranked inside the top 30 of the official Golf World Rankings leading up to the event. Although tricky now because of LIV, the landscape of golf still doesn't reward those points to the LIV Tour golfers. The exception, though, is those LIV Tour golfers in the field week. So they're likely to be outside of the top 30, but if they were on the PGA Tour, most likely still inside that top 30. So we'll keep that as the constant in this one. Here are the list of golfers that you're making the exception for that aren't in the top 30 in this trend. Brooks Koepka, fair?
Fair.
Cam Smith?
Mm-hmm.
I know he's dealing with some injury stuff, so I would stay away from Cam Smith this week. Just a lot of questions. Joaquin Niemann, a lot of people seem to be high on him. He's playing some good golf. He's got good history at the Masters. Will Zalatoris is not in the top 30, but he's playing in Augusta National. He had a big injury last year that kept him, out of golf for a long time. Dustin Johnson, Bryson DeChambeau, and Patrick Reed. So those are exceptions to the top 30 official World Golf Rankings trend because they're not earning any rankings points, but in theory, you would say if they were still playing on the PGA Tour, they'd likely be inside that. Some notable golfers that do not meet the trend that are playing on the PGA Tour: Shane Lowry, Corey Connors, Adam Scott, and Min Woo Lee. This is a simple trend and helps us cut the list down from 89 to 37 golfers. Trend number 2, 7 of the last 10 winners had a previous top 10 at the Masters. When was the last year we had a first-time Masters participant winner win the Masters?
Gosh.
We talked about it yesterday on the show. We talked about it yesterday on the podcast.
Yeah. No. Throwing me right under that bus.
You slept. No, you slept. You always famously say.
On the podcast last night, Sailor was way too active. I couldn't concentrate, but go ahead.
We could tell.
Yeah.
All right, 1979. Fuzzy. Doc A said it.
Oh, Fuzzy, yes.
He said it maybe an hour ago.
So 3 times.
You didn't sleep.
It takes me 3 times.
3 times.
Yeah.
They say 7 times, remember.
I'm slow, but I'm worth the wait.
That's it. That's what Joanne always said. But then that modem broke and things changed. But yes, I had a first-time winner since Fuzzy Zoeller in 1979. More than any other course golfers would play all year, the course history matters at Augusta National. You will hear the words like experience and course knowledge over and over and over again throughout the week, Masters coverage, previews, whatever it may be. If you don't want to take their word for it, Data Golf has Augusta National as the most predictive course by a wide margin when it comes to course history. For this trend, 7 of the last 10 winners had a previous top 10 at the Masters. There are a lot of eligible golfers in the field who either haven't played in this event or haven't had a lot of success there. So unfortunately, following this trend, you have to say goodbye to the following golfers: Joaquin Niemann, Ludwig Aberg. It's Aberg. I think it's got the little circle on top of the A because he's Danish. Wyndham Clark, Tyrell Hatton, Tommy Fleetwood, Bryson DeChambeau, Sam Burns, and Max Homa. That cuts the list down to just 21 golfers. Again, we're just following the trends. And I will say trends are always made to be broken, but when you're betting and you're trying to win money, statistics and data are a constant that you can use for a much more educated guess, as we'll call it. Trend number 3, 55 of the last 58 winners did not win back-to-back Masters. That eliminates one more. Who does that eliminate?
Will not win back-to-back Masters?
Yes.
Let's see.
David, who's to eliminate? Who won the Masters
Tiger.
last year?
John Rahm.
Bingo.
John Rahm. Yes. Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
I had to think about the dinner. Who's doing the dinner this year?
There you go. Hey, there you go.
That's right.
That's called strategic thinking.
Yes.
Or critical thinking.
What would John Daly have if he ever won the Masters?
Cigarettes.
Hooters wings, Miller Lite, and Marlboro Reds.
You say, boys, I don't know if any of y'all do smoke or not, but I tell you what, you're going to start today. Light you one of these all night now.
That's right.
So everybody's just ripping heaters around the Masters dinner table.
Here's your Diet Coke. What you going
Diet Coke. That's what I meant to say.
What you going to chase that down with?
Fireball.
It's like in the 80s, man, just sitting, smoking or non-smoking.
Yeah, that was a thing.
Yeah, it was.
That was a thing. Man, times have changed. So anyway, trend number 3, 55 out of the last 58 winners did not win back-to-back Masters. Do you know the 3 people who have won back-to-back Masters?
Tiger.
Mm-hmm.
No, not Phil. Man. Oh, Jack Nicklaus.
Jack Nicklaus. Uno Mas.
This third one.
Uno Mas.
Is it a notable name?
He doesn't play golf anymore, but yeah, it was at the time.
Arnold?
No. Good guess, though.
That was a good guess. All right, is it before 1975?
No.
Okay, so it's not Faldo.
Bingo.
It is Faldo.
No, you can't say not Faldo. Bingo.
Often wrong, never in doubt. Never in doubt. But
What years did he win?
I want to say it was, in the 90s at some point?
Okay.
Early 90s, maybe? David's going to look it up for us while we dive into this
Because
last
Freddie
trend.
won 92, so it may have
And
been
that was his
90.
only Masters, yeah.
Yeah.
Because Faldo won in the year that Greg Norman, 96, I think. So I was wrong about the Amera, I think.
Okay.
Was it maybe 95, 96? See if David can confirm this for us.
I'm seeing 1989 here, so that
Maybe
would
89,
be 88. Or, yeah, I'll find out, though.
Because Faldo was the one that benefited from one of Greg Norman's collapses, wasn't he?
I can't
Come on, often wrong, never in doubt. Always be confident, regardless of the answer.
89 and 90 and 96 as well.
Yeah. So he did win in 96 too, but it wasn't a back-to-back year. So yeah, he was the benefit of the Norman collapse in that one. But so
Dang, he had a heck of a run, didn't he?
Oh yeah. Faldo won 3 green jackets in 7 years?
Had his wife as his caddy.
Yeah, Fanny.
Fanny Faldo.
Fanny. That's her name, for serious.
Yeah.
Fanny pack carrying the bag.
She was good at it. She did a good job.
Fanny packs are coming back in style, aren't they?
I mean,
keep seeing
mullets
them
came
around.
back. Fanny packs might as well come back too.
Absolutely. Mullets and fanny packs.
It goes hand in hand.
Yes.
It does.
You gotta hold your product in there in your fanny pack.
Now, are you wearing it on the front side or the back side?
If I got a mullet and I'm embracing this, there is no way in hell I'm putting it on the back side. That's just ridiculous.
I can see
it's
right
gotta go
now.
in the front.
You're taking the kids to Walt Disney. What's in your fanny pack?
Sunblock,
Okay.
Advil,
Yep.
Band-Aid,
Yep.
and probably like a little pair of scissors or something like that.
Really?
Who needs sunblock when you got the moon, right?
That's true.
That's true.
Yesterday you didn't need it.
Yeah. I don't know.
For a little bit anyway.
Yeah. It got cold for a minute.
It did.
It went down 3 degrees during
it
that
really?
time. Yeah, that's what happens when the sun gets covered up.
It's true.
Wasn't completely covered up. Got a lot colder in the Midwest where it was a total eclipse.
Yeah.
Anyway, last part of this trend. So the 55 of the last 58 winners had not won back-to-back Masters. So that eliminates John Rahm. So it cuts us down with the first 3 trends just to 20 golfers. Trend number 4, 7 of the last 10 winners had a win in their previous 7 starts. Overall golf talent, the official world golf rankings, course history, but in recent form is just as important. The 4th trend, 7 out of 10 winners have had a win in one of their previous 7 starts leading up to the Masters. This proves very difficult to show up at Augusta National and find your game, at least when it comes to winning the event. This trend knocks off a bunch of good golfers. It knocks off Schauffele, Hovland, Thigala, Morikawa, not Cowie, Cam Smith, Will Zalatoris, Jordan Spieth, Patrick Cantlay, Justin Thomas, Cam Young, Tony Finau, Russell Henley, Matt Fitzpatrick, Patrick Reed, and Jason Day. More importantly, this cuts the list down to 5 people. The last trend, 13 of the last 14 winners were top 50 in driving distance. Some say size doesn't matter, but that has not been the case at Augusta National. For the final trend, 13 of the last 14 winners were inside the top 50 in driving distance the year leading up to the Masters. Hideki Matsuyama won the green jacket in 2021, but had had more distance the year leading up to it, 34th in 2020, than he does leading up to the addition of this year's Masters, where he is 127th in driving distance last year and currently 89 this year. Obviously making a little bit of an exception for two LIV golfers with this trend, since they don't have any good LIV statistics that we can use. But the two in question have no issue when it comes to driving distance. I took only the 5 trends and narrowed the list down to 4 golfers. When we get back from the break, we'll talk about who those 4 golfers are, Jay, and what you should do to bet on them and get your thoughts on them.
Yes, sir.
Oh, thank you, David Hayes. We'll do that as well. He thought he was going to skate by this week on this match. 1 week out of the year, it's probably the most important.
You need new bearings in your rollerblades. You ain't skating by nothing.
That's true. Got to get some ABEC 7s in there. You're listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. We'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida presents
Wrestling Against Cancer, number 9.
Saturday, April 27th at Bay Haven Charter Academy. In the main event, it's a tag team showdown with Exodus versus Mike Steele and Mr. 850. Then, Kelly Mann and Kelly Clark in the Wrestling Against Cancer Championship bout. Plus, exciting women's wrestling. Doors open at 5:30. Bell time 6:30.
More information, ESPNPC.com.
Hi, I'm Tracy, your diamond girl at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. Shopping for the perfect diamond can be difficult, but that's why I've trained my staff to be helpful and to offer you a stress-free diamond experience. Pick your sparkle and use our easy layaway plan. Every woman deserves an exquisite diamond from your diamond girl at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. We don't work on commissions.
We work for smiles and I do's.
So if you're tired of high-pressure salespeople, stop by and see us today at Tracy's Fine Jewelry.
Visit the newly remodeled Mid-South Lumber Hardware and Feed Store in Youngstown. They have a full line of plumbing, electrical, hardware, and tools for your DIY home projects, as well as lumber and animal feed. Now offering not only baby chicks and a full line of poultry supplies, but also bunnies and parakeets. They also carry a wide selection of Duplin wines and gourmet products, so you don't have to drive to the beach. Come see us at Mid-South Lumber on Highway 231 in Youngstown.
Are you tired of hearing 2 weeks when you call to get your boat worked on? Hey folks, it's Chris Kramer with Kramer Marine and Outdoor, and we'll get you in and back out on the water as quick as possible. We're a full-line Yamaha outboard dealer and Suzuki outboard dealer, and we have master-trained certified mechanics on site. So if it's just an annual service, electronics install, trolling motor install, or all the way up to a full repower, we can take care of you. So stop by and see us in the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd next to Bill Kramer GM, or call us at 850-851-0453.
We're starting fresh.
Fresh new start.
Locally sourced, Farm to Radio. The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey is live and local. From the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios. On ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is how we do it.
And welcome back. You're listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. I appreciate David Hayes making sure we didn't skip over the Jay Henley Golf Tip of the Week. I'm going to finish these betting trends, and then we're going to tie it right into Augusta National and let you tell the people what they want to hear. So after all those trends we talked about, it cuts it down to just 4 people in the field out of 89 based on these 5 specific Masters trends. And trends just seem to hold a little more true at Augusta National. I think it's just the way the place is. Who do you think, name we haven't eliminated yet, is on this? And they're currently plus 450 to win the Masters. 450. That's the best odds to win the tournament. That should be the easiest.
Oh, Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah, Scotty Scheffler, absolutely. Kind of a boring pick, you know. Yeah. He wins. He's won the green jacket before. It's basically to the point where every event Scheffler plays, I feel like it's his to lose. And Augusta, the Masters this year certainly falls right into that. But he has put up prime Tiger Woods tee to green numbers over the last 2 years, and he's finally seemed to figure out something with his putter. In his last 3 starts, he won the Arnold Palmer Invitational, the Players Championship, and then finished tied for second at the Texas Children's Open with his B game. The last time he finished tied for 31st was the CJ Cup in 2022. In 4 appearances at the Masters, he has a win and 3 more top 20 finishes. While the plus 450 number is hard to swallow, he is the best bet on the board if you're just hoping to have a sweat on Sunday afternoon. We talked about this yesterday on the Fantasy Six podcast. is, he's got a really good shot to win. But if you're just talking about betting golf, is plus 450 an overvalue when it comes? Because in order to win a decent amount, you got to put up a decent amount, and anything can happen, but he's certainly playing the best golf in the world right now, no doubt. And it makes it even scarier because he is a guy that has won at Augusta before, so he knows what it does, knows what it takes to beat that. Another guy that falls into that category, and we were talking a little bit of trash about him earlier, and that is Rory McIlroy. He is currently plus 1,000 on Bet365. If Rory doesn't win the Masters at some point in his career, that will always be the one that got away. He's been trying to win the career Grand Slam for the last 10 years. He's had so many opportunities to don the green jacket over the years. At this point, it feels like more of a burden than an opportunity. I agree with that wholeheartedly. With that being said, winning at Augusta National would give him that career Grand Slam and put him with the all-time greats. He fits all the trends laid out above. He has the talent, the recent form, the course history, and the distance needed off the tee. The big question is, though, is he mentally tough enough to put on that green jacket and avoid those few blow-up holes that he always just seems to have when it comes to the Masters tournament? Quick thoughts on Rory.
Well, I've heard throughout the week he's changing things up. He was there last week. They even mentioned that, and I know one of my good friends saw him at a Courtyard Marriott. But he's changing things up a bit, so he's searching. And I give him props for searching, but I just don't think he's got the game right now to be in a top 10. He makes the cut. I would definitely bet him making the cut, but he's not a top 10 contender this week.
Yeah, I just he fits the mold of all the trends, but there's that little caveat that he's just never been able to get it done while being so close, and he hasn't won a major in the last 10 years, and that can start to weigh on you. Typically you have these stretches, and it's tough to get it done again.
Well, I know we're talking betting, but and I'm not a stats guy. You obviously know that.
None of our listeners know that. Right. Thank you for telling us.
But there's something special about Augusta because, when I played it back in 2003, you want to be able to play good for Bobby. Is Bobby Jones watching me right now?
Yeah.
It's just...
Yeah, you're on hollowed ground.
Yeah, and I think a great bet this week is to take your Jake Knapp, your Akshay Bhatia first-round leaders because they tend to wake up on Saturday. It's you know what I'm saying?
I thought you were going to say to win, and that would be bucking all the trends we're talking about.
Right.
But first-round leader, not a bad idea. You see a lot.
That's why we're benching Caitlin Clark, baby.
That's it. Right. It's a good point. There's a lot of guys that go out and shoot a good first round in the tournament and then just completely fall off because holy crap, I'm leading the Masters.
Right.
I just made a mistake.
Yeah.
That's close. So that's a good, because you can bet first round leaders, and typically you throw a guy like there and you throw a couple bucks at him, and it happens.
Yeah.
All right, next name on the list that we haven't eliminated.
Okay.
He's a Live Tour player.
DJ.
Well, he's one of them, but we're not to him yet. And I think DJ is the best value to bet to win in the tournament.
Sam Smith.
No, we already eliminated him.
Koepka, we talked.
Brooks Koepka. He's currently plus 2,000 on DraftKings. He is the best golfer at the majors that we've seen in the last 10 years. He has racked up 5 major wins. Obviously, he was in the lead last year, and eventually John Rahm overtook him, and Brooks couldn't win that. Kind of crazy weather last year. Going to be a little crazy weather off the get-go. He just has something when he gets in a major, he goes to a different level. He almost didn't make this particular list because of the recent win trend, but he won 7 starts ago at the Live Jedediah. So he is currently at they said a win in your last 7 starts, so he's as stretched out as he possibly could be. While the plus 200 number or 2,000 number is appealing, we typically see a good result from Koepka leading into his major wins. In his last 2 starts at the Live Tour, he's finished tied 48th or tied 45th and tied 22nd. So hadn't been playing really great, but if you go back to his PGA Tour days, too, he even flat out said at one point he only cares about the majors.
Right.
So there's just something about Brooks and turning it on. I just worry with losing the Masters last year when he had the lead, is he now going to fall into the Norman and the McIlroy category, and we'll see.
Well, everybody's talking about distance doesn't matter at Augusta. I keep hearing that. It does matter.
The trend said you have to be in the top 50 in total driving distance.
Yeah. And
it's a bomber's course this day and age.
Right.
That's what it is. You can eliminate a lot of trouble, and you don't see a lot of layups, a lot of fairway woods or irons off the tee, and they've lengthened more of the par fives. But and then last but not least, the 4 golfers that fit all the trends, even though he is on the LIV Tour, is
DJ,
the Dustin Johnson,
Yes, sir.
the Coastal Carolina alum, and a lot of he's going under a lot of people's radar because when you're on the LIV Tour, you're not being talked about as much, you're not in the limelight. But DJ, all he does at Augusta is play really well. He's currently plus 4,000 on BetMGM, and in Hard Rock, he's right about there in that same range. When it comes to value, again, when you're looking to bet winners in golf, you're looking at value. Who's giving you the best value and weighing those options? And certainly DJ probably has the best value when it comes to picking people to win the Masters. And it was only 4 years ago. It hadn't even been full 4 years because he won it in November. He's the only player to ever win the Masters that was played in November because it was moved because of the COVID pandemic. But he recently picked up a win over there at LIV Las Vegas. His game has always been a great fit for major championship golf. Wish we had a better idea how well he was striking the ball simply because the LIV doesn't provide the same stats that the PGA Tour does. But he's always been a great driver of the ball and is an excellent scorer on par fives. And it seems like the LIV golfers are a lot more focused for the Masters this year, with several LIV players playing in the Masters because you've had so many past champions. But par 5 scoring is really what it comes down to at Augusta. Yeah. If you can play the par 5s really well and not avoid a massive mistake elsewhere, typically that's a great formula for winning. So there's your betting trends and the 4 golfers that you might want to look at if you are betting winners. Obviously, top 5, top 10, that's a whole nother ballgame. We'll discuss a lot more with that on Alan Sandage on Friday. But it is time in our last segment for...
It's Jay's Golf Tip of the Week.
All right, Jam, I'll tee it up for you for this tip of the week. It's Masters Week. You got this huge. You're not playing the Masters tournament, but some other time between the middle of October and the middle of May, you had an opportunity. You were invited by a member to play Augusta National.
Yeah.
What is the tip you're giving? You've played Augusta National. You've been there.
Right.
You know the golf course.
Right.
What is the tip you're giving someone playing Augusta National the first time?
Well, you're not going to have an even lie. You know, you go play Bay Point. You go play all the courses in this area. You get even lies, right?
Hills, it's flat.
So you've got to learn how to, what that ball does on an uphill lie, side hill lie.
Yeah, and you're talking about Augusta National. You're not just talking about, a few inches above. There's some shots you may have where it's a foot or two below or above where you're standing. Yeah. And that makes golf very challenging.
It does. So number 2, number 10, that's definitely an uneven lie, right? But, looking into some of the, like if you're just beginning the game of golf, it's so important to get off that trail side because I see so many beginner golfers just hang back on the right side. Go out and hit some downhill lie shots. That's going to force you, get your shoulders even with the hill, play the ball back a little bit, get a little wider stance.
A little better base. Rhythm and balance. And you say you're aligning your body with the slope?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want your shoulders and hips to kind of be
You're trying to create as flat of a lie as possible with how your stance is with that slope.
Absolutely. Couldn't be better said than that. But yeah, I mean, it's just, that's what I would do. Try to get off that trail side, and that's what I'm telling you to do if you get a chance to play Augusta National Golf Club.
And that also can carry over to any hilly course that you may play in your golf travels.
Oh yeah, it changes the game. I mean, it does.
The course I worked at in South Carolina was in that same area, and man, the slopes and the undulations were absolutely brutal. But you learn how to hit the ball in those scenarios because one of the toughest things I think is, and Augusta has a few of these, when you're hitting the shot is down. Like your stance is downhill. Mm-hmm. So it's not, I think an uphill stance is easier than a downhill stance.
Absolutely.
And then not only you have a downhill stance, but you're hitting to an elevated green. Because what happens when you create a downhill stance is you're de-lofting the club. You're losing loft. So if you're having to hit to an elevated green, it makes it even harder. So you move the ball forward in your stance, you align your body to the slope to try to create more loft on that club. And
take one less club as well.
Yeah, because you're de-lofting it. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, and then take it back, pull the trigger, don't think of anything stupid, and just swing.
Yeah, just swing.
Make it happen. Make it happen. It's hard.
Very difficult.
I like that, though. That was a good Jay Henley tip of the week, and I appreciate David Hayes reminding me.
Thank you, David.
It doesn't feel like Tuesday.
I know. It really doesn't.
I don't know why.
I know.
What day does it feel like?
Not Tuesday.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know.
I thought it was Wednesday for most of the show earlier, and I'm not
So then it feels like Wednesday.
Yeah, it feels like Wednesday.
All right.
But it's not. It's Tuesday. Tomorrow's Wednesday. And speaking of
All day long.
all day long. Speaking of Tuesday, you got the I got to do it. It's University Academy. So I'm going to mention some of the names competing in the county track meet. The championship is today. It starts at it starts in about 5 minutes with the throwers and everybody getting going. And from University Academy, I want to mention some of the names real quick competing in the tournaments. They qualified throughout the season for the county championship. On the shot put, you have Angelica Lorenz, Emma Krelling. Discus, you have Angelica Lorenz and Elizabeth Spilva. I think I pronounced that correctly. On the high jump, you've got Emma Krelling and Jillian Davis. The long jump, you got Kira Dilling and Aubrey Davis. Over there in the 100-meter individual, which is a sprint, Jay, that's Ziana Bell and Kira Dillon. On the mile individual, Sophia Torres, Lucy Mulick, Ella Homestead, Olivia Heller, Brielle Torres, and Aria Baxton. On the 4x100 relay, do you know how many meters a track is, Jay?
Don't have a clue, Ryan Mulvey.
Do you know, David Hayes? Not to put you on the spot, too.
Ooh, that's what I was going to say is 300
It wouldn't be
meters.
an odd number. Because if there's 4 of them that make up a mile. 400 exactly.
Okay.
So 400
I'll
meters.
go with 200 meters.
I'll take 200 meters for $10,000, Bob. No, it's incorrect. So on the 4x100 meter, there's Ziana Bell, Kira Dilling, Alani Caesar, and Bella Blitch. In the 400 meter individual, you have Natalie Tannehill and Alani Caesar. And then over on the 800 individual, which is a tough one because that's 2 laps, so it's that balance between speed and distance. You've got Lily Flippin, Lucy Mulick, Kylie Storovic, Ryan Mulvey, Emmy Warren, and Aubrey Davis. The 200-meter individual, you got Kira Dillon and Bella Blitch. And then the 4x400, which is a tough race to run, you've got Natalie Tannehill, Lucy Mulick, Lily Flippin, and Lydia Caesar. Nice. Those are the girls' side on the County Track Meet Middle School Championship going on at Tommy Oliver Stadium, about to start here in just a few minutes.
Go, Ryan, go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Run, Forrest, run.
That's right.
Yes, the track meets are exciting. There's a lot going on at one time.
Yeah.
But I'll be joining them a little bit later on as the runners seem to come a little bit later in the particular event.
Cool.
Basketball going good? How was your golf camp yesterday?
Good. Yeah, we did Pace Wins the Race. We did some 20, 30-foot putts.
Pace wins the race.
Pace wins the race.
You know what's important at Augusta National?
What's that?
3-putt avoidance.
Yes.
Those greens are arguably the toughest greens to putt on in the world.
Yeah.
So that was good. You were kind of working on the same thing.
We're building a future Masters champion right here in Bacon.
I like it. We got to get a drive, chip, and putt closer.
We tried.
I know.
Do you remember?
They just gave us the Heisman.
They did.
It's political.
Yeah, right.
It's BS.
Got to keep trying, though.
Hey, just keep swimming.
Yeah. It's like in Weir Marshall. I think he ended up driving all the way to Kansas to the NCAA. He was like, hey, we want to play football. He didn't write an email. He went and saw him.
Did they have email back then?
Oh, yeah, they didn't have email back then. He didn't write a letter. He didn't write a letter.
Yeah. He didn't write a letter. We're going to end on that, Jay Henley. Thank you for listening to the Inside Drive today. We'll have lots more guests tomorrow talking about Masters Week, including Keith Fleming, to go over all your DFS action, as there is a lot of things to be had. This is probably the best golf tournament when it comes to fantasy, betting, all those things. We're looking forward to it. Afternoon Underdogs coming up at 4 p.m. today, I believe, followed by the Braves versus the Mets. First pitch at 6:20, coverage right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Appreciate you hanging out with us. We had so much fun. We'll do it again one more time tomorrow. Y'all have a great rest of your Tuesday. ESPN Northwest Florida has your chance to win a pair of tickets to the Geico 500. Join Coach Hale mornings at 7:15 and 8:15 to enter. The race to Talladega. Then at 12:15 and 5:15, listen for your name called. If we announce your name, race to the phones. How long it takes you to call 850-215-6290 is your qualifying time. The fastest qualifying times win a pair of tickets to Talladega, right here from ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. The rest of the day, partly cloudy and a temperature of 74 with wind 15 to 20 miles per hour out of the southeast. Mostly clouds tonight, a gentle breeze and quite warm near 67. Mostly cloudy and raining moderately and 76 tomorrow. 73 and very heavy rain and some sun with a strong breeze Thursday. Friday, sunshine and a temperature about the same at 71. This is your Tuesday's weather brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
The road is yours, so let your spring adventures begin and discover the new Kia at Bill Bird Kia. Stop by today.